Through the German Youth Activities Organization, they're doing some of the teaching themselves, teaching German kids a way of life, for one thing. The GYA just sort of grew up from the days when American troops were taking swastika-handled daggers away from Hitler youths and teaching them how to play baseball instead. Now in almost every city and town in the American sector of Germany, GYA clubs, sponsored by the Army, bring hobby and art instruction, recreation and sports to thousands of German youngsters. And boxing gloves with Marquess of Queensberry rules in place of Nazi daggers. Then there's the soapbox derby each year, held by the GYA. Each driver has his own GI sponsor and coach. Entrants come from all over the American sector to the final heats on a Frankfurt slope. And the wreath from an American general to the winner, symbol of the thought that the soldiers of a democracy are here to help, not as conquerors. Seventh Army troops have had other opportunities to demonstrate themselves as good neighbors in Europe. When Holland's dikes went out under the hammering of tremendous seas last winter and new storms were blowing up, Army engineers went into fast action. Sandbags were the fingers in the dikes this time, and GIs prepared them by the thousands, working night and day to ready the dikes against a new onslaught of nature. A bulwark against the further devastation of flood. The Dutch will not soon forget help rendered in time of desperate need by American soldiers working shoulder to shoulder with their own men around the clock, helping to save the lowlands from further ruin. But mostly with the 7th Army, it's preparation to meet man's worst catastrophe, war. Remember all the river crossings our troops made in Germany when we were shoving ahead in World War II? Well, our Army is still crossing German rivers the hard way in training exercises like Operation Boat Ride. Problem: a division crossing of the Main River from Hanau to Aschaffenburg, the farther shores theoretically held in strength by the enemy. To cover the crossing, keep the enemy ducking on the other side, heavy firepower, division artillery, including the big self-propelled howitzers, are ready to throw across a curtain of steel and lead as a screen for the hazardous operation. Machine guns ready. The artillerymen working as fast against time as though lives depended on the quick ranging of the pieces. The combat engineers, too, fighting the clock as they hurry the construction of a bridge across the river. A bridge on floats that must sustain the thousands of tons of a division's armor. And meanwhile, the infantry moves out to secure the other end for the bridge, a beachhead on the enemy shores. A striking force that has to hit hard and fast in the dangerously exposed job of a river crossing. Tanks, too, ferry across the Main on steel treadway rafts to join in the simulated fight for the beachhead. Armored support for the infantry to smash ahead where enemy resistance is most stubborn. And let them roll. We did it before, and to make sure we can do it again if we have to, we're doing it right now in the strange shadow war we wage in Germany. Your 7th Army on the alert, ready to meet trouble out of the east. that this world under God shall have a new birth of freedom.
That's your 7th Army in Germany. An army devoted to discouraging a fight, but meanwhile building up a solid, stiff punch should it come. Next week on The Big Picture, it's firepower, the story of the artillery, a study of our great new atomic cannon, a look at the fantastic sky sweeper designed to keep enemy aircraft out of our skies. Also, The Big Picture will show you how American artillery is employed in Korea, how and why we fire 10 shells for every one the communists fire at us. You're invited to be with us then.
The Big Picture is a weekly television report to the nation on the activities of the Army at home and overseas. Produced by the Signal Corps Pictorial Center. Presented by the U.S. Army in cooperation with this station. You can be an important part of the big picture. You can proudly serve with the best equipped, the best trained, the best fighting team in the world today, the United States Army.